So, my name is Ross Laratta. I'm a professor of political science and director of liberal arts here at the International College of Liberal Arts, ICLA. I was born in Italy, where I grew up, and I also obtained my first degree and a master's. Then I moved to the UK, where I also studied a second master and a PhD at the University of Warwick in the UK, a leading university in the country. I've been in Japan for over 15 years, and I work at several universities. I began my career here in Japan at the University of Tokyo, where I spent 4 years. I moved in at Meiji University, where I spent about 8 years, and now finally I'm at ICLA. The International College of Liberal Arts is a 4-year American-style liberal arts college, where the primary language of instruction is English. English is the international language, therefore earning a degree in the international language prepare our students for many career opportunities around the world. The way students can choose our class is very unique in the sense that they can choose from a range of courses, and they have to create some kind of connection among disciplines. So for instance, they can study art, but they can take a class in political science, or they can study economics and take a class in Japan studies. So making connection among fields, among disciplines. That, in my opinion, is very unique in terms of design. So at the same time, our students, they actually specialized in one of the major. For students who are non-native English speakers and they lack the ability in communicating in English, we provide actually an EAE, which is a program where we train our students to speak English fluently before they can actually take a class in liberal arts. And so at the end, when they enter our program, everybody should be well equipped with language ability. In addition to this, in terms of implementation, we have a study abroad program. So all our students can have the chance to study abroad. For the Japanese student, the program is mandatory, and it can be either 6 months or 1 year studying in another country. This will give them the opportunity to explore language ability, so in other words, they develop the skills in language, but they also become very global aware and intercultural kind of fit for a society where there are so many people, right, of many nationality and many culture. Being myself a former student of Japanese language, I understand the need for many international students to be able to develop the language skills necessary to live and communicate with the local, as well as finding a good job in Japan. At ICLA, we offer a very robust Japanese language program taught by very trained Japanese academics. International students at ICLA are required to take the Japanese language course because we expect them to be fluent in Japanese and English by their graduation. Our international students who graduate from ICLA are better equipped to find a job in Japan because in addition to their skills acquired during the liberal arts program, they actually have an ability to communicate in Japanese. At ICLA, the Japanese language is taken very seriously, and several of our students actually won prize in Japanese language competitions. Our international students have the advantage to be able to interact in as well as outside the classroom with the Japanese students, therefore improving their language skills at pace that is almost impossible in other settings. And yet, international students in our college work toward their liberal arts degree, which allow them to specialize in an area whether this area is political science, economics, or Japan study, or art. Let me give you a profile of an international student that graduates from ICLA. So, first of all, has a degree in liberal art with a specialization either in economics, in politics, in art, or in Japan studies. Then it can communicate very fluently in both English and Japanese. Has an experience of living and studying abroad, is global aware, and is intercultural competent. And finally, is very flexible and adaptable to new work environment. Nowadays, the work environment becomes so flexible that you need to switch from one position to another. Having those ability to be able to be flexible and adaptable is key in our society.
Hello, my name is Jürgen Melzer. I am Professor of Japanese History and the Director of Japanese Studies here at ICLA. I come from Germany, where I've been working as a pilot for Lufthansa until the year 2000. I then went back to university studying Japanese language and Japanese history, first in England and then in the United States. At ICLA, I'm now teaching courses on world history and Japanese history. Let me talk more concretely about language studies and the major field of Japan studies offered here at ICLA. Your language studies will be very comprehensive. You start with elementary Japanese and then go all the way to advanced Japanese. We will prepare you for the N2 and N1 level of the Japanese language proficiency tests, and you also can take a course in kanji in contexts and in socio-cultural communication in Japanese. We even have a class on professional writing in Japanese, and we also offer a workshop called Experiencing Teaching Japanese. Let me talk about our key fields in Japan studies. In art and aesthetics, you can choose courses about calligraphy, Japanese traditional music, Japanese film and theater, and manga and anime studies. You also can engage in Japanese literature. Our martial arts experts can teach you in judo, karate, aikido, nanba, and shugendo. Furthermore, you can attend classes in Japanese business and economics, as well as Japanese politics, society, and culture. Last not least, in Japanese history, you can study the dramatic development of Japan from the Meiji period until the present. You also can take the class on the history of Japanese technology, where we talk about transistor radios, robots, and computer games. Then, what can you do after graduating from ICLA? You might pursue a career at Japanese companies that hire international students to meet the challenges of globalization. Most experts agree that with the end of the corona pandemic, tourism to Japan will continue to expand. There will be an increasing demand for sharing your expertise in Japan with foreign visitors. Your multilingual language skills and wide-ranging knowledge about Japan will be crucial factors to open the door for a career in the media industry. As a future researcher or educator, you can engage in postgraduate studies or devote yourself to becoming a teacher.
Hi, my name is Ashley. I'm from Singapore. I'm a third year starting from September this coming semester, and my major is Japan Studies. ICLA, I really like the small classes because it makes it a personal experience with the professor, and you can ask a lot of questions inside class, but there's a time limit, so they make time for you outside of the class as well to nurture your learning, and they personally help you, like with essays or with just furthering your knowledge or anything like that. And that's what really stood out to me. But if you in the first year you live in the dorm, it's compulsory to live in the dorm, and because you live in the dorm and because it's connected to the campus, you can wake up like 5 minutes before class and then just go down. So that's nice. Yamanashi is famous for their fruit. And when I first came here, I went with my mom and my brother to go grape picking, and it was so delicious. I've never tasted grapes like that before. And in February, you can go to an all-you-can-eat like strawberry picking session for like 1 hour, and I was full of strawberries, and it was so good. The nature is also really beautiful, and Fuji is right there, so you can climb Mount Fuji if you want to. And there's also Fuji-Q Highland, and it's full of roller coasters, and it's really fun if you like roller coasters. It's been really amazing because I learned so much Japanese that I never thought I could in the time I've been here. And that's really thanks to the professors because they're really passionate about cultivating a good foundation and a learning environment for the students studying Japanese. And if you really put your mind to it, you can learn a lot and really learn the language in a short amount of time that you couldn't imagine, because yeah, it's just wonderful because they alter the sessions and the curriculum and the classes depending on what type of students are in their class during that semester, and they're really passionate about furthering your learning and being a good help to your Japanese skill. Like I said, with the Japanese professors, all of the professors love it when you show a deep interest in the subject area or the class that you're taking, and they encourage it and they want you to ask questions and they want you to go the extra mile when you're in class. And they always make time for you if you email them to, it depends on the professor, what they're like, because they all have different personalities, but all of them encourage you to learn more about the subject area, and you can get really close to them, you can be friends with them, and it's a nice little family almost, because the university is super small. If you have a personal interest in any of the subject areas that you're studying, really pursue it and cultivate that love for it, because you're going to get so much out of it when you have that really deep desire to learn more. And not only that, but you're gonna have more opportunities in class and outside of class to learn more about your subject area, and when you do that, you can interact with your professors more about it, and they have more experience outside of the class that they can give to you about whatever you're interested in, especially if it's your major. And I also would like you to not consider it as separate from academics, but go explore Yamanashi as well, and have it all as a nice package, wonderful experience here that you can look back on with fond memories of learning about what you love and experiencing, if you're an international student, something that you've never experienced before in Yamanashi, and enjoy the fruit and the people and the little cute restaurants in the corners that if you go exploring you can find.
Hi, I'm Anastasia or Anastasia or Anastasia or Nastya, whatever you'd like to call me. I'm from Russia. I'm second year at ICLA and my major is Global Business and Economics. I think ICLA is unique because it teaches in English here in Japan. So if you don't know any Japanese or you're not sure of your Japanese, you can come here and be completely autonomical. You don't need any Japanese to survive inside ICLA, because all the procedures for the dormitory and everything are in English. All the studies are in English. And you can go on and go back to your country, for example, if you'd like, and it's completely valid education, so it's nice. And if you would like to pursue further Japanese education, then there are Japanese lessons here at ICLA, and also you have loads of part-time job opportunities around ICLA to train your Japanese. So it's unique because you can adjust your own exposure to the Japanese language, because I know many people think it's difficult, and it is. So my language school was in the same city, in Kofu, and I was looking for a university in Yamanashi. I didn't want to leave this place because I came used to it, and my Russian friends are here. I didn't want to leave them, and ICLA seemed like a fashionable, smart place, this great campus. And then I learned they teach in English, and I thought, maybe I would do better to study in English, because even though I'm so great in Japanese and I graduated from the top of my language school, switching to academic Japanese and writing reports in Japanese would be so much different, so much more difficult. And I thought, yeah, English might be easier, just not so excruciatingly painful. So I think this is why I decided to come to ICLA. And also, that's it. So Tokyo as a place has too many places to eat, too many places to have fun at, too many things to buy. And I think if I lived there, I'd be broke in no time. I can't control myself. So here in Yamanashi, I'm not trying to say there is nowhere to eat and nothing to buy. But it's just fewer of these things, and they are situated a little bit more further from one another. So if I want to go to the cinema, it's a 30-minute ride by bus, and it's not bad. I just don't go there, and it saves me a penny or two. It's nice, and also it allows you to have a balance between your studies, your work, and your entertainment, because it's when you're a student, you tend to play around a lot, and when there are many opportunities to do so, well, sometimes it's just more than you can do. And then the people in Yamanashi, the style of life here in Yamanashi, it's a little bit laid back, it's slower, and again, when you're a student, you're all loaded with work and studies and everything, and your life is very fast-paced. And when everything around you is a little bit more slow-paced, I think it allows you to relax a little bit. I think this is a nice touch of living in Yamanashi. Before I came to ICLA, I was sure I would become an interpreter or a translator. But when I was looking around for a university to go to, one college professor told me, if you go on to study a third language or a fourth language, it won't do you any good. People would just ask, why did you learn another language instead of some specialty? And I thought that made sense. I need a specialty to be able to translate well in that sphere. Know economics well to be able to translate economic texts. So I chose ICLA to get that specialty, and also and so now I still want to become a translator, but as I'm studying economics, it opens other doors for me. So I might work in economics, I might work as an accountant maybe, and also I might decide